Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to take your source material, break it down, and really pull out the key insights for you. The goal is always to help you get informed fast.
And thoroughly. Today we've got a fascinating set of analyses from The Economist, all centered on China.
That's right. You've given us quite a stack here. Articles covering innovation, big demographic shifts, even regional economic changes.
Now, our mission really is to unpack all of this for you, connect the dots between these different pieces, and help you grasp what's really shaping China's future.
Yeah. Expect some surprising facts, maybe a few aha moments along the way.
Definitely.
Okay, so where should we start? How about this AI frenzy? The source uses this great phrase, the water boils. Really captures the mood, doesn't it?
It really does. It points to this incredible buzz.
Let's maybe start with that story from Hangzhou Deepseek. An AI startup founded just 6 months before the article. I mean, wow, 6 months.
Incredible speed. Founded by Mr. Hu, who came from Tencent, right? And a couple of ex-Baidu engineers.
Exactly. And what's really striking is what they achieved. Training a large language model, an LLM, for supposedly just a tenth of the cost of something like GPT-4.
A tenth. That's kind of a game changer potentially. And they've partnered with Zhejiang University too.
Right. And their ambition is huge. They want to rival the U.S. AI ecosystem.
Well, that Deepseek story, it's a great example, but it's not happening in a vacuum, you know?
Yeah.
It really reflects this massive nationwide push.
Ah, okay. So it's broader than just one startup.
Oh, much broader. You've got all the big Chinese tech giants, Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent. They're all pouring resources into developing their own LLMs.
And this isn't just companies acting alone, is it? There's government involvement.
Huge government involvement. President Xi Jinping himself has stressed how strategically important AI application is, and that translates into, well, real support.
Like subsidies and things?
Exactly. Big subsidies for rent, electricity, data, computing power, plus tax breaks. Yeah. They're really trying to grease the wheels here.
And are we seeing results, like real-world impact?
We are. Take SenseTime, for instance, a Chinese AI firm. They've apparently developed something like 46% of generative AI models globally.
46%? Wow.
Yeah. And they're reporting a 9% real benefit in productivity from that.
Yeah.
And look at adoption rates. Gartner did a survey. Firms in Greater China using generative AI went from 8% to 43% in just 18 months.
8 to 43%. That is incredibly fast adoption.
It is. And this idea of cost-effective LLM training, like with Deepseek, that's not just interesting for China. It could, lower the barrier globally.
Right. Democratize AI development a bit more, create new competition.
Exactly. Far beyond Silicon Valley.
Okay, but that kind of rapid growth, it can't all be smooth sailing, surely. What sort of hurdles are they hitting? I remember reading about model hallucination.
You're right. It's definitely not without challenges. And yeah, model hallucination, the AI spitting out plausible but wrong info. That's a big one. Globally, really.
So Deepseek ran into that too.
Apparently, yes, especially early on. But they're tackling it, using these massive data sets for training, trying to iron out the kinks.
Makes sense. What else?
Well, cost. Just the sheer cost of training these things. Morgan Stanley estimated, $3.2 trillion globally last year?
Trillion. Wait, that sounds incredibly high. Did the source say trillion or billion? Let's double check that figure.
Yeah.
Okay, the source actually projects global spending could hit $4.6 billion by 2030, starting from a lower base. Still, a huge amount of money involved.
Right. Billion, not trillion. Apologies, that was a slip. But yes, $4.6 billion projected by 2030 is still a massive investment. And then there are the external pressures.
Like the U.S. tech bans on advanced chips.
Exactly. Things like NVIDIA's H20 chip being restricted. So Chinese firms have to get creative. They're developing their own hardware or using open source models, like Deepseek's, actually, and Alibaba's Qwen 2. Workarounds.
Interesting. And there was another point in the sources, wasn't there, about critical thinking?
Yeah, that was an interesting observation. Some argue that, really pushing AI forward requires deep critical thinking, questioning assumptions.
And the suggestion is?
Well, the perception, at least as reported, is that maybe some of the big Chinese tech giants could do more in that area, that it might impact the sort of creativity and robustness of their models down the line.
Okay, so this whole AI explosion, the speed, the investment, the challenges, why does this matter globally for you listening?
Well, it matters hugely for innovation, obviously, for global competition in a key technology, and, just the whole future trajectory of AI development. China's approach, its successes and struggles will shape that future for everyone.
Okay, fascinating stuff. Let's shift gears now from cutting-edge tech to something maybe more fundamental, demographics.
A really profound shift happening there.
Profound is the word. The sources paint a really stark picture. Births dropping dramatically from 48 million down to 36 million just between 2017 and 2023.
Yeah, that's a huge drop in a short time.
And get this, the total fertility rate in 2023, just 1.0.
1.0. I mean, replacement rate is 2.1, so significantly below what's needed to keep the population stable.
So what are the ripple effects of a change that big, that fast, not just in China, but maybe as a lesson for other places?
Well, the implications are massive.
Yeah.
And yeah, it goes beyond China. It's becoming this critical case study for other countries facing aging populations and falling birth rates, even if not quite this extreme yet.
Okay.
The most immediate thing inside China, a huge surging demand for elderly care.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically creating this whole new silver hair economy.
The silver hair economy,
Right.
a market focused entirely on older people.
Exactly. Products, services, care. It's a fundamental reorientation of where the needs are and where the money's going.
And there was that anecdote in the source that really brought this home for me, Miss Jing.
Ah, yes, the former kindergarten teacher.
Right, kindergarten teacher in Beijing. Now she's working as a nanny, but for an elderly couple, making about 2,600 yuan, maybe $360 a month.
It just perfectly illustrates that shift in demand, doesn't it, from childcare to elder care.
Absolutely. And the demand for elderly care workers in Beijing specifically was up 30% in just the last year, according to the article.
30%. Huge jump.
It really is a shift from classrooms to care homes in a way.
And the government is stepping in to try and manage this to boost supply. They're offering subsidies, quite significant ones actually, for building new care homes.
Like how much?
Around 50,000 yuan per new bed. And they're also encouraging these mixed-use facilities, not just nursing homes, but places combining care with entertainment, maybe even education for seniors.
Interesting. Like communities rather than just facilities?
Kind of. There are examples mentioned, like the Bedaling retirement community near Beijing and a pilot project down in Chengdu, but the scale of the need is just immense.
How immense?
Well, one estimate suggests they'll need around 295,000 care workers just by 2025.
Right.
That's a lot of people to find and train quickly.
Wow. So it's not just demographics shifting. It feels like a whole societal reprioritization.
I think that's right. Moving away from that intense focus on education. Remember the ban on after-school tutoring towards a society much more centered on caring for the elderly.
It's a fundamental change in focus, and the projections are pretty startling too, by 2065.
Yeah, the projection is that 30% of China's population will be over 65.
30%, up from about 14% when the article is written. That's transformative.
Completely transformative.
Okay, so we've looked at these huge nationwide trends, AI, demographics. Let's maybe drill down now, go micro level for a bit, to Shanxi province.
Right, Shanxi, China's biggest coal producer.
And economically, well, struggling a bit, according to these sources. GDP growth was really sluggish in the first half of the year, just 1.9%.
Yeah, compared to the national average of 5.5%, that's quite a gap.
And exports were down too?
Way down. A 33% decline. That's a serious hit for a province.
So what's the core problem there? Is it just the coal reliance?
Well, that's a huge part of it, yeah. It really boils down to that dependence on coal. Coal prices fell about 30% in the past year.
Ouch. That directly hits provincial revenues, I imagine.
Correctly. And it highlights this ongoing struggle Shanxi has with economic diversification. They've been trying for years, but it's tough.
And that leads to young people leaving.
It contributes, definitely. Migration towards the more dynamic coastal cities.
Yeah.
It raises that big question. How do you change your whole economic base when one industry is so dominant?
Yeah, especially when, as one quote in the source puts it, coal is dirty, but money talks.
That really captures the dilemma, doesn't it? The vested interests, the jobs, the sheer inertia makes shifting away incredibly hard.
But they are trying, right? Diversification efforts are happening.
Oh, definitely. Significant efforts. They've apparently committed a huge amount, 530 billion yuan, about $74 billion, to new energy projects.
What kind of energy?
Hydro, hydrogen, solar, wind, geothermal, a real push across the board. But it's not just energy.
No.
They're trying to boost tourism, too. Some sites, like the Daxing Grottos, saw revenues jump 30%, and they're trying to attract advanced manufacturing. Foxconn, for example, has operations in Taiwan.
So there's a plan, a target.
There is. The goal is for non-coal industries to make up 28% of Shanxi's GDP by 2025. That's up from about 19% currently.
That's a pretty ambitious jump in a short time frame, but the obstacles are still massive, aren't they?
Huge. Those entrenched interests we mentioned, the enormous capital needed to build totally new industries. The sources suggest it requires something like a revolutionary change, not just tinkering.
A revolutionary change, that says it all. It's a real uphill battle.
It is. And Shanxi's story, it's more than just one province's struggle, It really serves as this microcosm, this case study for the broader challenges China faces.
Oh, so?
It highlights that tension between, on the one hand, meeting economic growth and jobs, often from traditional heavy industry, and on the other hand, pushing for environmental sustainability, moving towards newer, maybe less certain economic drivers. It's the rebalancing act China is trying to perform nationwide, writ small.
A microcosm of the national challenge. That makes sense. Wow, what a journey we've taken just now.
Yeah, from AI labs buzzing with activity
to the quiet shift in demographics changing everyday life, and then deep into the economic transition of a province like Shanxi. It really paints a picture of a nation grappling with enormous change on so many different fronts.
It really does. So, thinking about all this for you, our listener, when you connect these different threads, the AI race, the aging population, Shanxi's coal transition, what stands out? Is there maybe a common theme in how China's tackling these huge shifts, the technological, the societal, the economic, and how might these internal dynamics play out on the world stage?
Yeah, and maybe what broader lessons are there for any nation trying to navigate such complex, rapid change in today's world?
Some big questions to chew on there.
Definitely. Powerful questions for you to mull over. We really encourage you to continue your own deep dive into these fascinating, complex topics.
And we'll be here next time ready to unpack more source material for you.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.